Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, my favourite horror book from 2024 so far, That Which Stands Outside by Mark Morris. So this comes out next week on the 16th of July and it is definitely worth your time. It is an expertly crafted horror novel and I had a fantastically good time with it. It's very creepy, it's very gripping, it's got convincing characters, it's just all round a fun ride. So let me tell you what it's about. So it focuses at the start on a couple and one guy in particular. So a guy called Todd who is in the UK, he's an actor, but doesn't make much money as acting, as indeed most actors don't. So he's working in a bar, and he meets this woman called Ursa. So he comes across her; she's being attacked. He fights off the guys that are attacking her, and he's hospitalised as a result of that. So he's beaten up by them, and she comes to visit him in the hospital, and they start a relationship. So she's from a small island off the coast of Iceland. And after a while, as their kind of relationship grows, she gets bad news from home. Her mother's died, and she has to go back to the island. And she asks Todd if he'd like to go with her, and he agrees. When they get to the island, it becomes apparent that the locals there don't trust Ursa, and it's not clear why, but they don't trust her. And as the book progresses, you get this wonderful sense of just uncomfortableness. So you've got Todd as an outsider going somewhere, he's never been before, a culture he doesn't know, with this woman who he's in love with, but everyone there mistrusts her. And it's really, really unsettling. And then on top of that, you've got at the start of this book, so the prologue to this book, is a really, really creepy scene. That just plays on your mind as you watch the rest of the books, the rest of the events of the book unfold. So there's something deeper and creepier going on, but you don't really know what it is. And the plot, gradually builds up. So you get more and more kind of creepiness inserted into the plot as it progresses. So weird things start happening. And Todd gets increasingly uncomfortable, and you as a reader get increasingly uncomfortable as well. Mark Morris does a great job of just capturing that sense of being out of your comfort zone. So Todd is a really, really convincing character. He's a great kind of anchor for the book because you grow to care about him, but more than that, you can put yourself in his shoes. You can understand why he's made the decisions he's made, and why he feels increasingly uncomfortable. So there's this just sense of unease throughout the book that just grows and grows as the creepy stuff kind of accelerates. The thing that Mark Morris does really, really well, I think, in this book, the thing that thoroughly impressed me about it and shows you what a skilled writer he is. So if you don't know him, he's been writing like horror since the 80s. He's written a load of different novels, short stories. He's he's edited short story collections. He's written for TV and things like that. So he's very, very good at his craft. And the thing that really showed me that in this book is the way he gradually expands the cast of characters. So at the start of the book, the focus is very, very much on Todd and Ursa. That's Todd is the central character, and Ursa, becomes really important in his life, and the focus is very much on them. Todd's got kind of friends at work and things like that who you get to know a bit, but the focus is very much on them. Once you move to the island, once the action moves to the island, that cast of characters gradually starts expanding, but it does it in a really organic way. So the characters are kind of gradually introduced throughout the book, and you get more characters coming to the island as well. So things gradually, the cast gradually expands, but it expands in such a way that you feel like you get to know these people. So they aren't just randoms who turn up and someone has a conversation with. You get to know them as the book progresses, and that means when the horror really starts ramping up towards the end of the book, you actually care about the people. So you don't just care about Todd, you care about this wider cast of characters as well. It's really, really effective and makes for a fantastically gripping read. It's kind of tense, suspenseful, creepy, and as I said a number of times, I think in this video, just uneasy as well. There's just this sense of something you can't quite put your finger on that's not right. which makes for a very, very entertaining horror read. If I was to, kind of label it, it's folk horror basically. It's kind of Nordic folk horror. So Mark Morris throws in, some interesting stuff about the location. So kind of about Iceland and kind of folklore in Iceland, and he weaves that into a very, very effective horror story. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this a lot. I definitely recommend it. As I say, it's out next week on the 16th. I think you'll have a very, very good time with it. So I hope you found that interesting. If you've read Mark Morris before, do let me know your favourite book by him in the comments. And as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.